I'm not sure if we can get this back cover off. Oh yeah. Ew. Not very nice, eh? And we should be able to now get this bit off. Same method. Where's my tool gone? Oh, here. There's space, I don't lose them. What a mess. But we know this works. We know the diodes and everything works. So that just really needs a good old cleaning up. It doesn't need taking off. But our problem now is here. The slip rings are pretty bad. Somebody asked me the other day about how to get the slip rings off, and they're just held on with this little connection here because the bearing's at this side. Well, it's not too bad. But, see, dry. Now my problem is now, how am I going to get that off? My tool will go in there, but it won't pull off. It's too tight. The bearing's obviously going to get changed. But how would you get it off? I mean, I could sort of pull this and I've got a risk of breaking that casting. I don't really want to do that. See what I mean? Now I have to go... What was that? Oh, it's my multimeter. I have to go downtown in a minute to the scrapyard and dump a load of bits and pieces off. But what I'll do is I'll soak it and see what happens when we come back. Well, this has been in the parts washer for about half an hour. I'm not sure if it's soaked in or not. So you can't support it here, that's the problem. That's the problem. It usually comes off with this. And it's not moving. It's not moving at all. So, desperate men do desperate things. I've got another rotor. I don't want to damage it, but I'm going to see if I can heat up just in here without setting it on fire. Probably will. Come on, light. Problem about doing it like this is it heats the shaft and the bearing. So both expand at the same rate. This is perhaps not the best way to do it, but it's worth a go. Let's get our little tool. Oh, I see it's starting to bend. Right. Will this work? And the answer is no. Has it moved a bit? I think it's moved a bit. How else do we get that bearing off there? Where am I going to get that off? Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put this in the sandblaster to get that rust off there, and then I'll come back. So I've sandblasted the shaft and I've warmed it up again. It's going to come off there. Or is it? Is it moving? be moving a bit. I wonder if I just got a big socket here and tap it down to see if it is moving. Big socket. Ooh. Perhaps not. Getting all excited there over nothing. Or has it moved? If I should hold that in the vise. Watch me break it. It's come off, but I've jammed up my tool now. Sorry you didn't see that, did you? It's come off, but I burned over my tool so it won't come out properly. But you can probably see the rust on there, which isn't good, is it? Now how am I going to get that out of there? That should just come out. I think my battery's going to go flat now. Not that one. What about this little chap here? Ooh, that might do it. Oh, yeah. Now I have to get the socket out of here. So you can probably see what I was trying to say about the rust on here. I'll clean this up in the wet bead blaster and we'll take that down to JP's and get it machined. Well, back again. So using the pulley to support the back of the bearing like this, support the back of the housing, and then using another socket that will go a nice snug fit, you can actually push the bearing out. I'm going to push it out further and I'll show you what happens. So you can see here there's a broken lip because the bearing's crimped over. There's actually no need for it, but well, they seem to think so. But I've got a new bearing here. It's got nowhere for it to go, but the pulley was just the right size to support that, so the bearing would pass through. So I'm going to sandblast that and bead blast it. Oh yeah, there's a bit of there's the bit of the lip of metal that came off. And that's why you need a puller to pull it off. And like I say, even that has got bent up.